Welcome to Real Talk, Real Women. My name is Miriam Khalladi, and today we have Sarah Dussault from Boston on the show. Welcome, Sarah. How are you?
Thanks. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
My pleasure. Tell us about Sarah Fit. What is it all about, and how did it all start?
So Seraph is the name of my website, which is basically a healthy living and fitness blog. And it started because I was hired by a company called Diet.com to produce online fitness videos for them. So I was producing content, fitness videos, and I saw that these bloggers were kind of popular. And so I reached out to one that was in Boston. Her name's Tina. She writes a blog called Carrots and Cake. I reached out to her to do a video with us with Diet.com, and I was looking at her blog and was like, maybe I could do that. So about 6 months later, I had the opportunity to go part-time with Diet.com and kind of start my own thing. And that is how Sarah Fit basically came about. I started producing my own videos, and I saw how Tina was working with advertisers in different companies, and so I created SarahFit.com as kind of a complement to my YouTube channel. So I started as a YouTube channel, and my blog came out of that.
Oh, great.
If that makes sense.
Great. I watch your videos and I love how you're really being you. Do you feel that the media today breeds insecurity in young women, setting the standard too high, too artificial?
Yes, I 100% agree. When I was with Diet.com, we actually created a video called The Photoshop Effect. It was kind of my brainchild, and my response to the industry's just kind of how Photoshop really has taken over, become the norm. And so I think that everyone, their perception of what is skinny and healthy is skewed because of the images that we see in magazines. So, a big thing for me is being real. I think a lot of people look up to me because I'm not necessarily the skinniest YouTube fitness personality. I'm someone that's relatable to them. So I'm someone that enjoys my dessert, and I'm not going to say no completely to sugar, but I also, can maintain a healthy body image. And so I definitely think that it's something that the bar is set too high for women right now. And that's kind of why I use my YouTube channel to kind of promote a healthy body image and help create a more realistic ideal of what a female body should look like if it's healthy.
What advice do you have for young women who are trying to live up those celebrity standards?
So I definitely think, showing them pictures that that are not photoshopped is one step to take for these young women, and showing them, this is reality. That's the first step. The second step is kind of becoming kinder to yourself, not beating yourself up about, eating something necessarily unhealthy. But also I think it's important. So while, body image is a major concern, here in the US at least, we have a huge obesity epidemic going on. So here I am with my videos, trying to help a lot of people get healthy. But then I do have this audience that, it does have this skewed perception of what a healthy body looks like, and, might be borderline having an eating disorder. So it's a very fine line for me to kind of balance. So for those that, might have the unhealthy body image, thin is too thin, for those girls, I feel that, being myself in the videos, I feel like that is helpful for them, is saying, I'm healthy, I'm happy, this is what a strong woman looks like. So I think that, just being myself in my videos is what I'm trying to do to kind of help those women. But again, it's a very fine line that I play, because obviously I don't think I look like I'm too skinny, but, some people might disagree with that, but I don't think that I do. So I think that I'm serving as kind of a healthy role model. If I were to move to California, I might have some people that would say otherwise, tell me to lose some weight. But here in Boston, I'm happy and content.
Through your videos, you're putting yourself out there for the world to see. I know that millions of people around the world love what you do, but you've also had some negative feedback over the years. How do you deal with it?
Oh, yes, I've had a lot of negative feedback. You definitely need to build a thick skin. At first, it used to bother me and make me really upset. And I'm not a celebrity, but like celebrities, I put myself up there. No one forced me to create a YouTube channel. You know, no one continues to force me to upload videos of myself. A lot of times, people will say negative comments calling me fat, which is probably the biggest criticism, or at least the one that I get upset with because of the reasons why you had already kind of mentioned, is that girls are watching these videos and they see someone of my size being called fat and they're like, well, if she's fat, what am I? So I think that when it comes to negativity, you have to build a thick skin if you're going to put yourself out there in social media. I've done a few responses, and it wasn't so that people would say, oh, Sarah, you're not fat, like, we love you. It was more to kind of address the issue about how I really did feel like people watching my videos do have a skewed perception of what reality and what, you know, healthy looks like. And that was why I did the response videos. But for the most part, I feel like you know, I've learned to not. So, you know, building a thick skin is number one if you're going to be a social media person.
In those 7+ years you've been in the industry, what is the most important lesson you've learned about healthy living, and what is that keeps you going?
The most important lesson is that healthy living and part of fitness and nutrition is a science. And sorry, there's a ambulance going by my house. They're both sciences and they're both changing. They're always evolving. They're always learning new things. So what you believe one day may completely change the next. So I've learned to be open. You know, if somebody has a new diet, a new fad, a new trend, don't dismiss it until you try it. Definitely been the biggest learning lesson for me. You know, a year ago, I would have shunned juice cleanses. They're my newest favorite thing. I'm studying to be a holistic health coach, and I'm learning a lot about raw diets. Never label myself just because I don't want to be confined to a diet. I like exploring. But the most important thing is that they're both sciences and that they're changing. They're never going to be the same. We're always learning something new. So, you know, having an open mind when it comes to how you eat and what you do to stay fit is definitely the biggest thing.
You're a role model for thousands of women, but of course you're also human. How do you deal with setbacks and adversity?
Um, so I'm going to take a second to pause and think about this. You know, I am human and I screw up. It's very hard for me sometimes to, you know, I can lose 5 pounds real easy, but sometimes or I shouldn't say sometimes, it's always a struggle to keep that off. So, you know, for me, it's a constant battle to be a strong role model. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is not beating myself up when I'm not. So it really is staying accountable with yourself and staying accountable with those that read your blog. I've found that people actually like to read about your struggles more than your success. That's something that reality TV pretty much taught me. So, you know, I am human, and those that read my blog and watch my videos, forgive me when I do make mistakes. But really, I don't give up. You know, I push through, and I really do believe that everything happens for a reason, and that we're all here. We're all here because we all have a purpose. And so maybe I'm not going to be the most successful YouTuber, but my role here is helping a lot of people, and I've been able to touch a lot of lives.
Do you have any personal fitness goals?
Well, right now I'm training for a triathlon. It's just a sprint, so it's not going to be that much of a challenge to complete. It will be a challenge to complete with a time that I'm happy with. But I would like to, my goal is to run a half Ironman, and that's within the next year and a half. I'd like to do my first half Ironman by the end of next summer. So I'm hoping to do my first Olympic this early fall. So that's my fitness goal right now. I'm always trying new things. I just finished my first half marathon. You know, a marathon sounds kind of boring to me, so that's why I went to the triathlon instead of the marathon. So that's my fitness goal right now.
You've had tremendous success with your blog and YouTube channel. What are your goals for the future?
So I have a book actually coming out. Hopefully, it will be out in December. So right now, I'm focusing on writing that, making it the best book that it can be, and I'm really excited about that. I haven't really announced that publicly, so this might actually be kind of the first place I'm announcing it. I'm gonna obviously announce it when it gets closer, but yeah. So I signed that deal, and if you had asked me what I wanted to do 5 years ago, I would have had no idea that, or I shouldn't say five, 10 years ago, YouTube didn't even exist. So in the social media industry, it's really hard for some of us to set goals because, my original goal is to be a TV reporter. And, YouTube has kind of achieved that for me. I'd love to transition into TV. I don't want to do reality TV, but I'd love to transition into TV and do something, in the news side of things. So that's kind of a long-term goal, not a short-term goal. The book is short-term, and I really want to grow my YouTube channel and getting my certificate or getting my, I guess you could call it graduating from nutrition school so that I can be a holistic health coach and help other people in person and online.
What would you like to accomplish with your book?
Well, my book, I hope to help people that were just like me. They played organized sports all growing up. They always kind of had someone telling them what to do. And then all of a sudden you go to college or you graduate college and you're on your own and you've got to figure it out. So I'm really hoping in my book to help people figure it out, be their best friend and tell them what to do when they go to the gym, help them when they're grocery shopping. Really, it's to educate people like myself when I was in college rather than, I read every single fitness magazine there was. I read a ton of different diet books. So I'm hoping that my book can kind of consolidate all that information for them and just kind of be a one-stop resource for, girls that are looking for a coach, someone to kind of help them get back on their feet after kind of being let go free in the world.
I'm sure you will do great.
Thanks.
My goal with this show is to inspire others through the stories of inspirational women like yourself. You've been insanely successful in this area. What is the best advice you could give me?
What's the best advice I could give you? The best advice that I could give you would be if you believe that you can do something, is to go all in, go head first, and don't stop. A lot of people were skeptical when I started trying to do the blogging and the YouTubing full time. And almost right about when I was going to give up was when I started seeing the most success. So usually I've found that that's true for a lot of people. Right before you're about to give up is when you start to finally do well, which is kind of, I guess, a no-brainer because if you didn't do well, you would stop. But don't be deterred by a little bit of times that might seem a little hard or that you can't overcome them. For me, it was blogging regularly. So, if that's your business, working a lot, I guess. So I blogged regularly. I educated myself. I got certified as a personal trainer. I went to a lot of conferences. I networked. Networking is invaluable. It's one of the best tools that we have at our fingertips that really all it takes is an email and introduction. You've got to learn how to do that. And, you obviously did a good job of that because we're talking now. But some people send emails and it's, very impersonal and it's kind of like, I get a lot of emails, so you really got to stick out. And your email did that, so you're doing a good thing with that. But for other people, networking is huge, and you really can do a lot of networking through blogging, Twitter, social media. Almost befriending these other people in this blogosphere. And same with going to conferences. You can meet a lot of people like that as well.
Thank you so much for your advice. What's the best place for the people to connect with you online?
So if people want to ask me questions, the best place I tell people to go to is Twitter. I'm Sarah Dussault on Twitter, SarahDussault. Twitter and Facebook are the best places to ask me questions. You can send me an email, but emails tend to be really long, and a lot of people want really personal advice, and I would love to email every single person back that writes to me, but it's really time consuming. So I've had to kind of stop doing that because I realized I was spending so much time on all these emails. So I try to, if I get a lot of the same question, I'll do a video or I'll do a blog post addressing it. But if people have, questions or they want to say hi or contact me, Twitter and Facebook are the best places. Facebook, I'm facebook.com/SarahFitFan. My blog, obviously, Sarah Fit, and I have my YouTube channel, Sarah's Fab channel, but you could also go to youtube.com/SarahFit. And I have Instagram and Pinterest. Both are Sarah Fit, and I have Tumblr, Sarah Fit, so I'm everywhere.
Great. And I will make sure to put all the links below this video.
Great.
And I would like to thank you for your time, Sarah.
Oh, thanks for asking me. I'm happy to help.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you so much. My name is Miriam Khalladi, and I will see you on the next episode of Real Talk, Real Women.